The following Degrassi video contains subject matter that is not suitable for all people due to religious beliefs. All religions must be treated in the way that they are. And this religion video does not condone religion and basically tell you what religions you should or should not follow. This is basically a Degrassi video about religious topics. Viewer discretion is advised. This is 14 plus for your entertainment. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Dive. I welcome you to another Degrassi video in the playlist. Today I've decided to be a little controversial, if you will, as the disclaimer has shown. But today is, of course, a good video called Degrassi. Did they do religion dirty? Now, as many people know, religion is basically a way of thinking about your morals and all that. There are tons of religions within the free world. Some that are the powerhouses like Christianity, Catholicism, Hindu, Muslim, and all those things. And there are weird religions like Scientology, Rastafarianism, the Church of Tiger Woods, that kind of stuff. But religion is what you make it. Basically, Degrassi wasn't afraid to tackle religious characters within the show. Basically, they wanted to show characters from each walk of life, like, a Catholic student, a Christian student, a Muslim student, Greek Orthodox student, that type of stuff. So I decided to do a Degrassi Reddit post. And basically, I said, well, creating a new video, I just want to know what religions they're trying to tackle within the show. I know about Greek Orthodox, sounding Fola, Christianity, basically Claire and Becky, Catholicism, Manny and Zoe, Markle too, Muslim, Sav, Ali, and Syrian migrants, for sure, but I know I might have made some omissions. So, anyway. Yeah, someone says, you gotta talk about Darcy too, but I said, no, I'm talking about any religions I missed. Well, Toby was Jewish, and Hazel being Muslim though. Yep. That's right. I forgot about the Jewish thing. Yeah, so Toby being Jewish and all that. So yeah, basically I missed Jewish and all that. So anyway, yeah, so we'll talk about things about religion, each one. First is Judaism, or being Jewish. A lot of the actors who played characters in Degrassi were Jewish. And basically, there weren't a lot of Jewish plots. So basically, yeah. So that's that. So yeah, there were some characters who were Jewish and all that. Basically, Toby was the biggest example of being Jewish. He actually did a spoken word version of the Hanukkah poem at the school's holiday showcase thing. That was basically when, in the Degrassi holiday special. The weird thing is, when you try to watch the Degrassi stuff, when you binge watch it on networks, sometimes they don't include the holiday specials. So basically, if you were watching a major TV network for season 3, and basically, there's an episode being skipped, that's holiday. Of course, holiday was the one that Craig gets found out by Ashley and Manny that Craig is dating both of them at the same time and all that. And Joey has problems with Caitlin, and Caitlin leaves him. And of course, Toby mentioned that his grandparents died in the Holocaust. That was the episode in season 2. I can't remember what it is for the life of me. But anyway, that's when we learn about Hazel being Muslim and all that. I don't like using the stuff. So anyway, Degrassi season 2. Oh, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. I know, I don't know if I said this in the video, but did I say that this thing happened 18 months after 9/11 or something like that? Because I'm going to be technically wrong, because this happened 15 months after 9/11. But basically, yeah, talk about Muslims and Hazel and all that. Because the story about Hazel, that was the first time a minor character got the main plot, I think. And basically what it was that basically they're doing International Students Day, like all that, and Hazel is Jamaican and all that. But another girl tells Hazel that our dad is Somalian. No, we're not. We're Jamaican. So basically, Hazel gets herself in trouble with that other girl, Dress, because of being the fashion police and basically make a statement that says, let's hope Jamaica doesn't bomb your country. Oh boy. So anyway, yeah, International Students Day goes off. Hazel pretends to be Jamaican and all that. We get to find out other people's stuff. Paige in a very low-cut Ukrainian outfit that shocks Radish, but Radish is in a kilt. I still can't get that picture out of my mind. Radish in a kilt, Snake in a Swedish stuff. Spinner was not given a precise moment on his nationality, like on his heritage. So basically, he makes some kind of food, mixing his parents' background and Kendra's Chinese background. Sadly, though, it fails. So, of course, the other girl, I don't know, Therese? I don't know what that girl's name is, but basically what happened is her Iraq thing basically gets vandalized because of, the 9/11 tensions, that. And Muslims still, like almost 20 years later, are being harassed and all that because of their connections to 9/11. I think that the Muslims were not doing that badly in America until 9/11 popped up. And then basically Americans turned on them. Yeah, and that's when Toby said something about the Holocaust, because a lot of the teachers actually opened a conversation about hate and all that. And Kendra's saying that, I don't get it. My parents are white. I'm Chinese. We're good fit. So, of course, Hazel admits she's Somalian, and she had an incident of discrimination and all that. Hazel tries to help the girl with her project, but basically the girl says, wow, and you learn from that, because Hazel had her hijab taken away from her and being beat up by a group of other girls. But Hazel decides to share her Somalian story, basically, about the fact that they fled from Somalia because of a war. And, she's accepted. People don't hate her for that. Of course, Terry does ask about the hijab, which Hazel does wear, but only when she goes to mosque, I think. So, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, they didn't really do anything but Judaism and all that. Muslims, well, they did that with Hazel, and they did that with Sav and Ali. Now, Sav and Ali's story basically they're from India, but their parents basically were very old school fundamentalists. Basically, doing the double standard. Ali was made to do everything possible, whereas Sav didn't get a lot of, chores and all that. But they did try to arrange marriage with Sav. And basically, Sav had a relationship with Anya, and it was supposed to be one of the best relationships ever. But unfortunately, because of Sav's inability to tell his parents, to stand up to his parents because of Anya. Anya basically thinks that Sav is just basically willing to put himself through an arranged marriage rather than her. Sav does have a relationship with Holly J. and Miss O, but basically Sav gets nothing from it. We get nothing. But basically, Ali was slut-shamed by the whole school during Vegas night. And basically, she goes to another school, an all-girls school. But basically, one of her friends basically frames her for having a cigarette. And basically, Mrs. Bandari basically doesn't believe in Ali's story. So basically, Ali is like, that her parents refuse to listen to her, please, and basically, they'll listen to Sav. But of course, Sav realizes that Ali was right the whole time, and basically that the parents are not listening to her. She's trying to explain herself. And then basically, Sav and his dad search for Ali, and basically, Mr. Bandari breaks down saying that when you have kids, you'll understand. And he admits his faults. Thankfully, Ali is found safe and sound. Well, she actually found Johnny at Toronto University, but Johnny told Ali to go back to her family. So basically, they get together, they go through family therapy, and the parents actually change their tune a little bit. That's pretty good. So what else did I miss? Yeah, it was mentioned that Maya was Jewish in the Christmas episode. Okay. Yeah, some kind of Christianity thing. Sav having the arranged marriage, and Anya being upset that Sav wouldn't stand up for her. Yeah, they talk about the Greek Orthodox school with Diana and Alexa being Greek, and also Fola. Yeah, because Fola was the first major character to have a religious background. In season 1 of Junior High, basically her dad wants her to do certain things and all that. Like the old country thinking in a new country. So basically, I think they were Greek, and they were in Greece, and then they moved to Canada. Basically, Fola's dad says that you got to do certain things, even though Fola says, I have to go to the dance. I'm not dancing with a boy. I have to give money for an orphan, because they were doing a fundraiser, and Fola was the key person. I mean, yeah, I wish Fola had spoken up more to her dad. Fola's dad was wrong. She didn't go to the dance to dance with somebody. She went because she was part of the student council thing. And Stephanie got drunk. Oh, man, Stephanie. She thought that being student council president would mean that she would rule the school. Wrongo. So yeah, but, Fola was chewed out kind of because she lied. She did lie. She's right, but she should not have lied. I think her dad probably would have understood why she went to the dance. But he thought she would go to the dance with some guy. But no, it was for something different. I think Fola disappeared after season 2 of Junior High, or is it 1? I can't remember. Yeah, so they talk about Alexa and Diana being Greek and all that. Doing some Greek stuff. They don't really talk about religion much in the Junior High thing, except for Shane's dad being a minister and all that. Of course, Shane's parents meet Spike's parents for dinner, basically talking about what to do about the baby. And basically, Shane's parents want to try to have Spike have an abortion, or basically to give up the kid for adoption. And then they also said that to Spike and her parents, who said, don't worry about it. You'll never have to deal with Shane ever again. It's like, what? And they basically explained that they'll send Shane to a boarding school, and basically that the baby, I don't know about the baby. And Shane's like, what the heck are you talking about? And basically Shane's dad basically said, this is for the good of the family. And Shane's upset because, Shane's siblings are treated much better than him. And he basically lashes out at them. say that you're doing this for yourself because of all the shame and all that. You're doing it so that you can go out. You're doing it for your own precious egos and all that. So yeah, so basically that was huge and all that. So anyway, yeah. And basically Shane's parents had the ultimate out when Shane took acid and fell off a bridge. They dumped him off at the mentally challenged home, and basically they didn't have to deal with Shane being a troublemaker. Okay, so Greek Orthodox are talking about, what about Catholic? What about Catholic religion? Well, there have been some Catholic characters. Manny's parents being Catholic and putting Catholic things on her. Marco's parents and Zoe's parents. So basically Marco's dad, well, they come from Italy. Basically, is a hard-nosed Catholic, and Italy is one of the highest has the highest percentage of Catholics in the world, pretty much one of the highest in the developed world, if you will. But anyway, yeah, Marco was of course afraid to come out to his parents because they have a strict Catholic code. His mom found out in season 4 and accepted him. Marco's dad would finally accept him as being gay in season 5. And Marco's dad even told Marco that you need someone to look. People love you and all that. Don't turn them away from you. So he was more understanding than I thought. Manny's parents, basically, the Catholic religion. It was talked about in season 3 when Manny was thinking about an abortion and all that, and hadn't told her parents. Spike says, "Your parents might be understanding. Mine were." And Manny says, I had a cousin who got pregnant and got shipped off to a convent in the Philippines. So, of course, Manny was scared. She was born in the Philippines, but basically, yeah, came over. So Manny actually tells her parents, but thankfully they're willing to help her out, and she does get an abortion. Anyway. Yeah, so, in season 5, Manny gets thrown out of her house because of her acting causing a lot of trouble and all that. I don't think Betty's parents knew about the illegal video of her showing her top off and all that. But basically, Manny went against her dad's wishes to stop acting, and basically he threw her out. He didn't want to talk to Manny at all. He tried to tell his wife to throw Manny out. Manny's mom is more understanding than the dad. I think that the dad is under some strict code himself. But thankfully, in season 6, well, for him, Manny got to go home because of the JT incident. So anyway, season 7, when Manny tries to date Jay to try to get back at her parents and all that, the parents basically hire a minister and all that. Basically, they want to go through with it. Basically, it's 2 can play that game. And they speak in Tagalog. It's a Filipino language and all that. And Manny tries to piss off her parents by being with Jay and all that. I don't think there were really any other Catholic characters other than and then Zoe. Well, Zoe basically. Because Zoe, it wasn't really developed she was Catholic until after she has a question of her self-sense and basically comes out of the closet. And her mom refuses to have anything to do with her. And all that. There are a lot of religions that basically, if you come out as being LGBTQ2+, that they'll disown you. But it's not because of their personal preference, but mostly the church's influence. Basically, a lot of these parents basically were taught not to accept anybody who was gay or lesbian or whatever. And basically, the church will shame them. And, sometimes they need the church to help them out. And basically, when the church turns their back on them, they feel useless. Maybe it's the church's influence on the person and not the person itself. But as much as you blame Zoe's mom, saying that, Zoe's mom wanted to disown Zoe because she was gay and because they were Catholic and all that. That's not completely true. I mean, it's part of it, but the other part is the fact that Zoe's mom didn't work that much, and Zoe's mom lived off her daughter for money. Basically, you know, Zoe would earn some money, and Zoe's mom would basically cash in on that. So basically, because Zoe's mom didn't want to work, and with Zoe not getting roles, not just because, well, probably because of this coming out of the closet, but it's on the executives' heads. It's not on their heads. So basically, yeah, she refused to have anything to do with Zoe. She didn't attend Zoe's graduation for fear of being ashamed of herself. I don't think anyone would have basically put shame on Zoe's mom. I think she was just worried about things, and basically no one was going to call her out on that. Maybe she was worried that someone was going to bash her because she hated Zoe because she was gay. I don't know. People have that sometimes. It's just basically shame and all that. I know this is kind of off topic for Degrassi, but basically, I remember watching that Golden Girls episode when Sophia's son Phil, and well, Phil being Dorothy's brother, he died, but Phil was a crossdresser. I think he was one of the most poignant expressions of being transgender or bisexual. Like Phil used to love wearing women's clothes, even though that he had a wife and 4 kids. And basically, Rose, who works at the counseling center, basically says that something about shame and all that. And then Sophia breaks down that Sophia didn't want to be near Phil for one main reason, because of the shame she must have felt with everybody telling her that her son's a tranny or not bisexual, but basically Sophia felt shame that, you know, she was ashamed of her son dressing like a girl and all that. She raised a son, not someone who wanted to be a girl, but I think Phil wanted to follow in his sister's footsteps. I don't know. So basically, yeah, Sophia felt bad. And they did that right. They did that, but the fact that Sophia was ashamed of themselves. And I think that's basically what most of these parents were. Shamed that, you know, they felt shamed that their kids are gay. And when you talk about shaming and all that, you got to talk about how Degrassi did Christianity. Now, some characters were Christian, blah, blah, blah. But then Christianity came into the forefront when Darcy came into the picture, Degrassi picture. Basically, by season 5 of Next Gen, she was in the Friendship Club, a group that basically practiced Christian beliefs and all that. Of course, the Friendship Club would be controversial because, you know, Bitter joined the Friendship Club because he wanted forgiveness from his friends about the fact that he got Jimmy shot. Of course, you know, Spinner didn't know that Rick had a gun and would have went after Jimmy. When Spinner and Jay basically pinned things on Jimmy, they were trying to hope that Rick and Jimmy would break off as friends and that, you know, Jimmy would come back to their side. Well, of course, Spinner rightfully got expelled. He was allowed to come back to Degrassi, and he took the opportunity in season 5, and he met Darcy with the Friendship Club and basically thought that Christianity would help him out. Spinner questions himself, saying that how could God forgive somebody who did something as bad as I did? Getting Jimmy shot and all that. But Darcy tells Spinner that he loves you for who you are. Of course, Spinner is mad with the Friendship Club because they told him not to be with Marco, who is gay. To be friends with Marco. But Spinner basically refused to compromise himself. Basically, he and Darcy talk. And Darcy basically tells Spinner things up. But of course, Darcy ends up losing Spinner because she was being a little bit hypocritical. And then Darcy's next relationship was with Peter. And I'm like, how the hell could Darcy be with a guy like Peter who has basically screwed over Manny and screwed over Emma? And basically, Manny and Emma actually warned Darcy about Peter. But Peter says that I don't appreciate you guys talking about me that way. I am not that way. Basically, Peter's fucking ego. Pardon my language. So anyway, yeah, she's with Peter. Peter sets up her with a friend who would pay for some racy photos. Why would Peter do that? That's just pathetic. Like Darcy, is worried about how she's being portrayed in the Christian light. Claire, her younger sister, actually calms her down. Cool. But then season 7 comes along. And that's when religion might have played a big part in Darcy's thing. Darcy goes to a ski party with Peter. I don't know why she's still with Peter, but anyway. Some guy slips something into Darcy's drink and has his way with her. Darcy thinks she and Peter did it, and unfortunately they find out about some rape drugs thing at the ski resort. And basically Darcy looks sad. She just looks like she has the doe eyes. And the doe eyes say that, oh my God, I got raped? Oh no, what are my family going to think? Basically, Darcy was scared to tell her parents because she was scared about, her parents basically blasting her for having sex and all that, even though it wasn't on her own report. She's forced to give up her friendship ring, for her abstinence ring. But Darcy said, I got raped. Someone had sex with me against my wishes. That shouldn't count. Basically, Darcy goes through a dark, spiraling path. Basically, her parents are questioning themselves, like, why would Darcy try to kill herself? She tried to kill herself in the shower, and she tried to jump off the roof and kill herself. Well, the first time was because she felt scum, and the second time was mostly because she accused Snake of these things. Basically, Darcy was at her wit's end, and basically how she described Snake was terrible, and Snake got himself kicked out of school for a while. So basically, Darcy admits everything and all that. It doesn't get Simpson immediately back to Degrassi because I think the school board probably thought that Snake had talked to Darcy about lying to them, but it wasn't. Darcy was being honest. Darcy was scared about how her parents feel about her, and basically she says near the end of this storyline that basically Claire's the good one, and basically she feels like she's scum and all that in the eyes of her parents, who are very high in the Christianity thing. So, of course, Darcy does make some kind of redemption, if you will, and it goes off to Kenya. Methinks that Darcy going to Kenya was not completely her choice. I think it was maybe her parents' choice to send her to Kenya to try to redeem herself and basically to make themselves feel good about themselves. Like, they could have also poured all their affection towards Claire and take down Darcy that way. I don't know. Of course, in real life, Sinead Grimes wanted to go to 90210, like that reboot. And the reboot was fine for a few years. Unfortunately, it was also known for being tabloid fodder for the 3 lead females having weight loss competitions and all that. I don't know if that's completely true, but still, it's like piss pot. So anyway, Claire comes into the picture, Claire being Darcy's sister, and Claire basically told, you're going to Degrassi to learn, not for any other extracurriculars and all that. Basically, they're telling Claire that, you have a Christian background to go for, and you won't be like Darcy, you won't be the wild child. And Claire wears her Christian school outfit to school for the majority of season 8 until Connor tells her not to. So basically, Claire does wear other stuff. She's very conservative in her dress and all that. She basically helps Connor out when the chef goes overboard with how Connor feels about things. And basically, gets the chef in trouble. Her Christian background basically caused a lot of trouble. I think some of those students didn't like Claire's background because she was high and mighty. She seemed to be high and mighty and all that. They thought Emma was high and mighty, but for different reasons. But anyway, Claire, had the Christian act and all that. She soon wore her hair differently. She soon lost her glasses because she got laser eye surgery. And she was okay. Of course, her main problem with the Christian faith was that basically, when her parents were ready to get a divorce, Claire was like, you can't get a divorce. God would not like that. And it's against Christian values. I don't know if they assure her that the divorce is not any fault. And Claire tries her best to keep her family together because that's how she was raised. But of course, Claire's mother is the sole person to get Claire and basically all that. And, Claire's mom was kind of hypocritical about the Christian religion herself. I think it was the dad that had the religion thing. But basically, yeah, Claire doesn't really do anything like religious and all that after the parents' divorce. And I thought Claire lost her faith because God didn't keep her parents together. Nope. It was for other reasons, I think. And of course, when you talk about Christianity, you got to talk about Becky and Luke. Becky and Luke came from Florida because of Luke playing hockey with the Ice Hounds. And, Becky was shown as being a very high and mighty Christian who would do anything to stop things. So basically, she tries to protest the school play because of it being two guys and all that. Becky tries everything in her power to get religion into Degrassi. People don't like her for that. She does get Jenna to be baptized and to be a clean-cut person. But Jenna also tells Becky that religion isn't about enforcing things, it's for understanding. And basically, Becky decides that Jenna was right. And basically, Becky decides to have a relationship with Adam. Of course, her parents are upset. Well, her dad's the minister. I mean, the parents are upset because, Becky's dating someone in the LGBTQ2 plus community. So basically what ends up happening is that basically Becky gets shunned for that in a sense. And then Becky is told to lie for her brother when Luke gets accused of raping Zoe. Of course, Becky fights all that stuff and the evidence, and basically Becky doesn't waver. So Becky actually doesn't know which way to lean towards, helping her parents or telling the truth. So basically, Luke says that Becky has an family honor to protect him because Luke covered for Becky when she lost their grandmother's ring down the sink. But Becky did tell Luke that the next day she actually admitted her guilt because that's what she was taught to do. And then Luke told her about how he raped Zoe and all that. It's like if Luke had kept his mouth shut, maybe Becky would have protected Luke. But Becky told on Luke, basically, she doesn't waver. So he wins her case. Luke and the other guy go to jail for 2 years, and Becky's parents are shocked. And basically, they ignore her, in a sense. I mean, honestly, I know it's mostly because, she wouldn't stand up for her brother. And maybe Luke would have stood up for Becky if the situations were reversed. But, to me, it just sounds fishy. And to me, I figured that they basically used this as an out for hating Becky because you got to remember that their parents were upset about Becky dating Adam, who was transgender. So basically, maybe they were just hating on her for that too. But anyway, somebody called Moo Moo Mac and Cheese put up a Reddit post saying that I think about it a lot. Becky and Luke's parents were willing to let their son get away with rape, but weren't willing to let their daughter date a trans guy. These people are failures to humanity. Someone said that it is realistic. Many highly religious people won't be happy with their child dating LGBT, but will do anything for family. And I don't know if Luke's parents thought he was guilty. They seemed in denial. It's no different how they would condemn Becky for having sex before marriage, but Luke would have no problems. Yeah. They believed Luke when Luke told them that Zoe wanted to have sex with Luke, which means he had sex before marriage. And when Becky held hands with Adam, they chastised her for that. And someone says it's very to see the lengths that the good Christian community will go to in order to protect the potential patriarch and condemn the matriarch. True. And someone actually said that they did show that the Bakers had given up on Luke in terms of being a good Christian boy. Maybe I saw something that wasn't there, but the scene with Jenna being baptized, after she makes her speech about why she got baptized, it was obviously about Luke playing her. Luke's father goes over to him and whispers something in his ear and gives a double tap on his shoulder. Obviously, Becky knows about Luke since she warns Jenna. So it stands to reason that their mother and father knew something as well. Can't see Becky keeping that secret for the parents for that long. That would be lying. Hmm. Yeah. And someone says that's the problem with religious people and their double standards. They sent Becky to conversion therapy because she was dating a trans man, but didn't seem to care about her son being a rapist. Hey, the Bible doesn't say anything about raping, but it does against women and LGBT people. That's why I love Becky. They said a lot of people hated Becky. She rised above what she was taught and what her parents thought. She never lost herself. Her religion was important to her, even though she didn't fully agree to it. Her brother, on the other hand, found himself untouchable. Yeah, basically, Becky was introduced as a villain encountering Eli about the school play and being also righteous. But basically, she grew as a person being open-minded and all that. Um, yeah. And they represent religious conservative Americans because, they're from Florida. Mm. Yeah, some people said Brock Turner. All that. Mm. So, yeah, it's like the Bakers basically believed Luke's BS and basically wanted Becky to protect the family because, they had a reputation too. And, it doesn't look good on them for basically having a rapist for a son and a daughter who basically went against their Christian background to have family above all. But Becky was being honest and truthful. That's what a good Christian does. So basically, yeah, those two were terrible people. I just wanted some I actually wanted some comeuppance to do with Becky's parents. Basically, Becky slamming her mother and saying that I'm going to do what's right for people and all that. I know that they were trying to force Becky to forgive Luke for his trespasses, but no, you can't do that. So basically, yeah, did Degrassi do religion dirty? Yep. They did. They showed just one side of being religious, and basically that religious people are freaks. Not all of them are. I say about 10%. So, Degrassi may have did religion dirty and didn't tell both sides of the story. Well, they kind of did with Becky, but I mean, like telling both sides of the story, it's kind of convoluted, if you ask me. I mean, I can't tell both sides of the story myself. But anyway, thanks for watching this Degrassi video, and there'll be more to come in the future. Bye bye.